Hi, I'm Vips. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really fun video planned for you. I wanted to share with you this new big project I'm working on. After I finished the wedding dress project a few months ago, I've been really feeling the itch to have a bigger project again. I really like the intricacy and the scale of working on my wedding dress, but of course I don't need another wedding dress, so I need something else to do. I've also really missed hand sewing. I do that a lot. Over the past couple of years, I've made a few baby blankets for myself and for some friends. Patchwork baby blankets, quilted. And I love everything about the process. You can do patchwork in so many different ways. My grandmother taught me how to do this, so this is how I do it. I use cardboard pieces as the base, and then I put fabric around those. And then when you line up two edges, you get a really clean place to stitch, and you get really clean seams and very straight lines. You can do very precise shapes with this method. And then of course you have to take out all the cardboard before you then move on to the next steps of sandwiching the layers together and doing the quilting in the end. So I was scrolling on Pinterest, as happens quite often, and I came across this inspiration picture of a jacket, a patchwork jacket, and I was intrigued. I thought, I like that. I like that. My husband has these old shirts that are actually lined, so they're more like outerwear than innerwear, and I'm using them for like around the garden or around the house, and as like a changing of the season kind of jacket. So I'll use them in the spring and then I'll use them in the fall. But I mean, they're not made for me and my body. I can't actually close them over my hips, but I like the usefulness I get out of them, and like the kind of thickness they have, the weight, and how they function. So I thought, I have so much cotton in my stash. I actually have a whole box of fabric that I use just for quilts. I could make my own quilted jacket. So that's the project we're working on. This is going to be going on in the background for the next however many months. I'm filming this now in the beginning of April, and hopefully I'll have it done by autumn this year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I really want this to be a stash busting project. As I said, I have that whole box of fabric that I'm going to choose from. I'm going to see if I can stick to only that, and hopefully I'll have enough to do both the jacket and the lining in existing fabric. I mean, I definitely have enough. It's just a question of how much piecing I'm going to have to do. So the jacket from the inspiration picture has dolman sleeves. I've never actually tried to make anything with dolman sleeves before. I recently came across this book. This book in a bookshop. I'll link it down below. It's in Danish though, and it's actually sewing for kids, not sewing for adults, but she does mention that you could just use the method described in it to like scale things up for your own measurements. And to be honest, I don't really want to sew kids' clothes, not yet anyway, so I thought I'd try it out and see if I could make something out of this that would work. And she does have a pattern for a dolman sleeve. So I didn't completely follow the method in the book, but anyway, based on what I've got from the book, I made a mock-up. I'll show you that later, and I think I have something that'll work. I did accidentally put the sleeve way too far down, so when I was trying it on, it didn't fit. It fit really weird. I couldn't move my arms, but I actually fixed that by just simply adding a gusset to the sleeve design, which I'll just make as a separate piece and add in. I just thought it was fun to do that rather than trying to reposition the sleeve. Something new I've never tried before as well. Here you can see the gusset piece that I've added to the underarm to fix the mobility issue I was having before. I couldn't raise my arm at all. It's a tiny bit small. I do actually want it to be able to close, but I've extended the pattern a bit further, so it should be all right. I'm also planning on making slits here at the side to accommodate for hips. I only bothered patterning one sleeve as they'll be mirrored. And there's definitely something happening up here at the top of the sleeve where I'm probably going to have to pinch out some extra volume. But I thought this was close enough that I decided to just go ahead with this as the pattern. Yeah, I didn't obviously either pattern the full length of the sleeve. I do want it to be full length, so I've extended that in reality as well. It looks pretty good, or at least I hope it looks good. We'll see. Okay, so we have some rough outline of a pattern that I think will work. Then there's the patchwork pattern and the patchwork design. And again, back to Pinterest I went, and looking at different patterns, quilting patterns. I really liked this design. There's just something about it that I thought was fun. So what I've done is I have my paper pattern, and essentially I've traced out my quilted patchwork pattern on the pattern piece. But I actually went out and bought enough cardstock that I could draw out my pattern pieces on the cardstock, draw my quilting design or my patchwork design on top of that, and then just cut the pieces out directly. I might have overcomplicated the pattern just a little bit. There are some really, really small pieces, but I think it's gonna look, I hope it's gonna look really good. I've definitely leaned towards an autumn color palette with the fabrics. I went through my stash and thought, oh, I like this one and this one and this one, and then hopefully I'll have enough. I do think maybe I'll have to do the sleeves in one colorway and then the front and the body, the front and the back in a different perhaps, but we'll see when we get to that. There's plenty of time to work on this. In terms of construction, I have thought a little bit about how I'm going to go about this, and going back to the original Pinterest inspiration picture, it looks like all of the seams have been covered at least with a bias tape, and I really like that kind of border it gives around all of the pieces, so I was intending on doing the same thing. I think I have some, or I know I have some brown bias tape in my stash, and hopefully I'll have enough of that. Otherwise I might do like a different color on the inside, we'll see. And I'm also intending on it having a button closure, but that's a long way away currently. I really wanted to film this introduction video now and post it now, and then I'll keep you posted on how it's going. This is going to be a really long but hopefully fun project. I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, but this is the sleeve before it's been cut out. I've mirrored the design on the two sleeves so they won't be completely identical. So everywhere I have vertical here, I have horizontal on the other sleeve, and then vice versa. I'm also going to do the same for my left and right front pieces, mirror the design. I have almost all of them already drawn out, but I've only cut out the one sleeve that I'm currently working on. My back piece here is a lot less busy than the sleeves ended up being. I don't know if I just wanted to add more and more detail the further I got along in the project, but really liked having this design in the middle and then kind of building out from there. So yeah, hopefully it'll look really cool when it's done. I wanted to quickly show you my current state of affairs. I'm working on one of the sleeves. As you can see here, I've added fabric to most of the pieces. I have the top of the sleeve lying over there. And I've started stitching them together. Currently working on this one here. And as you can see, I made a very fiddly design with some very small pieces. But I really like the colors, so I think it's gonna be good. I hope you're excited to follow along on this long-term project, and I'll see you next time. Hi.